I think one of the highlights so far this season, or this preseason, has been Gabe. Can they trust Gabe Vincent? Do you have trust in Gabe Vincent? Because as you start looking at the rotation right now, and you take a look at Gabe, who's a veteran in this league, has been in the NBA for a while, has playoff experience, has championship experience playing with the Miami Heat. They can really, really use a breakout season from Gabe Vincent. You know what they could use, actually? I think I should adjust what I'm saying here. They could, not a breakout season from Gabe Vincent, a season that I think the Lakers expected when they signed him. And they haven't got that yet. This is his third year on a 3-year contract. And I don't think there's a Laker fan out there that's been watching Lakers basketball, like most people on this channel, that could sit here and tell me, oh man, he's exactly what I thought he was going to be. Because there was a perception when he was signed by the Lakers that he was going to be a real contributor, that he was going to add some toughness to this team, some leadership, somebody that you can rely on the defensive side, somebody that will hit shots, somebody that's not afraid of big moments and hitting big shots. And he's not been able to do that for the Lakers. He's had a good preseason. It's preseason. You know, if I'm going to sit here and tell you that preseason doesn't matter, but I think there are some things that we could take away from the preseason. He's been effective. Now, the difference with Gabe and a lot of the shots that he's getting right now, he's got the green light. He's not thinking about, I can't take the shot. Luka's right there. I can't take the shot. LeBron's right there. Should I take the shot or should I throw the ball down low to DeAndre Ayton? Should I just get the hell out of Austin Reeves' way? Where Gabe's going to be most effective for the Lakers is off the ball, not creating for himself, helping with spacing, hitting open shots when he gets the opportunity. And I think that's the thing that's hurt Gabe Vincent with the Lakers. He has not been one of those players that you can look at and say, I can rely on him. He's going to come through. Yeah, if he just sits in that corner and he gets it, the spacing is just teams got to get out on him. That has not, unfortunately, been the path or the result from Gabe Vincent. So yesterday he had kind of a cool performance, you know, for those who were watching the game. If you missed the second half, you did a good job. If you just saw the first half and you saw Gabe and Rui had a really good first half as well. You saw Gabe put up 5 threes, go 5 for 5 to start the game. And before you even, I think he had 19 in the first quarter, ended up with 22 points, didn't play as much the rest of the way, kind of started struggling with his shot the rest of the way. But Gabe Vincent has had a couple moments now in preseason where you're like, all right, hey, you know what? This is nice. Maybe he's building some of his momentum. Maybe the Lakers will be able to use him the way they thought they were going to use him 2 years ago, and it hasn't happened yet. So I'm hesitant to trust in Gabe, and it's more to do with I need to see Gabe Vincent successful when Luka's on the floor with him, or when Reeves is on the floor with him, or when LeBron's on the floor with him, when other guys are on the floor with him where he doesn't have the ball in his hands. Because we know once the regular season starts, it's not like they're going to say, Gabe, go to work. That's just not going to be the case. So can the Lakers trust Gabe Vincent? I think that's a fair question. And to be honest, I'm not sure if I have an answer for it, but I'm going to lean more towards no. I'm going to go with what I've seen from Gabe Vincent over the last 2 years, not this out of nowhere, he's just going to start becoming a real contributor. I think Gabe is going to be a great backup guard for 12 to 15 minutes a night this season. Gabe is in a contract year. He'll perform, but get rid of him and sell high ASAP. We know what he does or doesn't when he's in a contract year. Well, I think no matter what, contract year or not for Gabe, I think it's safe to say this will be his final year with the Lakers. I think maybe what you mean by get rid of him, sell high, is if there's an opportunity during the season, he creates some value for himself, and then the Lakers are going out there before the trade deadline, and they're trying to make some moves. But, I got to be honest. I mean, think about the names that have been thrown around in any trade package. You hear Rui's name, you hear Dalton Connect's name, and you hear Gabe Vincent's name. Those are probably the 3 most likely names that I hear in any of these trade scenarios that are thrown out there. Yes, Austin Reeves you hear a little bit of, but I just don't know how realistic that is. You hear Maxi Kleba, but that's more to kind of match salaries. So Rui's name, I mean, has been thrown out, so I don't think that's going anywhere anytime soon. Okay, let's get a couple more in these here. Gabe will play better this year, better personnel for him. And, you know, I think there's truth to, I definitely think there's truth to him being in an expiring contract, of course. Vincent is an expiring contract. That's his value. You're not wrong. And then, you know, there's a lot of teams that want to shed salary. That's why they make certain trades. Maybe there's a team out there that says Lakers aren't using Gabe Vincent right. Throw him in a package for us and we'll use him the right way. That could be the case as well. Okay, we got an update yesterday on LeBron. So let me just kind of hit that real quick. I do want to spend a quick second on that. Initially, the thought was, will he miss maybe 5 to 7 games, maybe miss opening night and a week, maybe a week and a half. So here's the latest, and here's what Shams put out there yesterday. I'm just going to kind of read some of this quote. If you were listening to the postgame show yesterday, I did play it. He was on with Malika Andrews on NBA. I think it was on NBA Today. If it wasn't NBA Today, I know it was on ESPN, obviously. Here's what he told you, or here's what Shams said about LeBron and the sciatica that he's dealing with on his right side. I'm told that the Lakers and LeBron are looking at around mid-November as a realistic debut for him. October 30th would be the earliest that the Lakers would be officially reevaluating LeBron James, but it is expected he will need at least a few weeks after that point. So, by the way, if he's saying, okay, October 30th, he'll need at least a few weeks. We're in mid-November. So I think the likelihood of him missing 14, 15 games is very likely. A source told me tonight that LeBron will be taking a patient approach with his rehab from the nerve injury. So the ramp-up process for this will be a lot of basketball shape conditioning work because remember, as I reported last week in NBA Today, LeBron James first suffered the nerve issue during an on-court workout in late July, early August. He wasn't able to have that normal LeBron James offseason that we're accustomed to. And as a superhuman, he's been throughout his NBA career. He's turning 41 in December. So then he just goes on to say likely around that mid-November range. So, you know, I think for me, when I think of LeBron, just let's put everything to the side here. Let's just isolate LeBron James. I almost don't care that LeBron's going into his 23rd season in the NBA. He's still putting up numbers. And whether you're excited about LeBron James' 23rd year or you're just waiting for LeBron James to wrap up his career with the Lakers, because I know I see it on both sides, the Lakers need LeBron this year. You got 50 and change that's going his way. He's still able to be a productive player. He's on the team. He's on the roster. I mean, Lakers need LeBron this year, and they need him available. Whether he comes back in mid-November, I wrote something down here. I think there's two different ways to kind of look at this LeBron situation. And let me kind of break down both sides of it. If you guys want to weigh in, feel free to. One way to look at it is, who cares? Just come back whenever. If you're ready in the first week of November, awesome. If you're not ready till December 1st, come back December 1st. I think a lot of people look at LeBron and say, who cares when LeBron comes back? The first half of the season doesn't mean anything. What means everything is second half of the season, getting closer to March, obviously April, and then that playoff run. That's when you want LeBron ready, rested, and at his best. The only hesitation I would say that is concerning to me, and I would look at it the other way, could this also just be the sign of his 23rd season? Yeah, his body is clearly going to break down. I mean, it's 23rd year in the NBA. No other player has been in the league for 23 years. He has just kind of, you've grown this expectation of like, yeah, LeBron's going to be there. Of course, why isn't he going to be there? But this is the first time going into training camp or going into the regular season, he's going to miss a regular season opener. But he's not just going to miss a regular season opener. He'll miss probably 10 to 15 games, if not more, just based on Shams' timeline here that he put out there. I think the Lakers, if he comes back November 16th, so a day after the midway point of November, he'll have missed 14 games. That part's concerning to me. It's concerning that LeBron will be starting a year where he misses 10 to 15 games right out the gate. 23rd year in the NBA. We're all accustomed to him being around. Maybe this is kind of the first sign of LeBron saying, thank you very much for watching the clip. Just want to give a shout out here to one of our partners, the Wallace Firm. They are official injury attorney of the Sliwa Show and Hoops Talk, the entire channel. If you are ever in a need, and I hope you're not, but some type of serious injury with yourself or a family member of yours, I would like to personally help you by introducing you to the best in the business, Brad Wallace and the Wallace Firm. Also got a URL out here that you can use as well. Just go to wallacewins.com/Sliwa. Thank you for their partnership, and thank you for being a part of the Sliwa Show.